Hello, Coloritaville. This is Renee, and we're going to review the Brunzeel design pencils. And these are so cute. The packaging is absolutely adorable, and I love it. It's a nice hard box, very thick, and it has drawers to hold the pencils, which is really kind of cool. So I'm going to take this drawer out, and I'm just going to take a look at the drawer and the way it's held. And they have a foam insert in this drawer, if you can see that, that holds each pencil individually. So when you tip it on its side, none of them move. They don't flop around. You can turn it upside down. They don't fall out. Fantastic. It keeps them very, very, very protected. Now there's, from what I can feel, I'm going to pop this one out, is there's a thick area up here, the indent for the pencil, and then underneath is some more foam as well. So the holder goes all the way through, which is wonderful. Each of the pencils is quite thick. It has a really nice thick core, as you can see there. They are very centered. I don't have a lot of wood coming up the pencil core, which is wonderful. And what we're going to do is I'm going to swatch these out for you. It'll be a very, very quick swatch because there is only 4 little drawers with 12 pencils in each drawer. So it's only 48 pencils, so it'll be very, very, very quick. So I will do that for you. Of course, I'll do that on a sped up video, as well as a little bit of relaxing music. So grab your cup of coffee and get ready to swatch. I'll be back. See, that didn't take long at all. So we swatched these out, and I'm going to grab the swatch here for you, and we'll take a look at that. So the pencils went down quite nicely. A couple of them, because of how hard I was pressing on them, they are very, very, very soft. Some of them went a little dusty, but the colors are very, very bright. They have a good selection of each color. For a 48 set, they do quite well. They are sorted somewhat in their color families, and of course you can rearrange these any way you want. But each drawer has a good selection of the color family that's in that drawer. They've got some nice skin tones here, some light flesh and some flesh. They've got some really good yellows, from a dark yellow to a light yellow. They don't have a lot of creamy colors, like a really, really, really light yellow or that sort of thing. which is fine. Absolutely. You can use the white to knock down the light lemon yellow and make it into a really creamy yellow. They've got some good oranges. Actually, they've got more orangey colors, like the deep yellow is almost an orange. They've got more orangey colors than yellow. And they've got some good reds. Quite a few blues. I don't know why, but a lot of sets have a lot of blue colors in them. And then we go into the purples. Some nice grays. Of course, this set does not have any metallics. You can, however, purchase gold and silver on their own. But all in all, like I said, really nice soft coloring pencils. I did at one point purchase the Brunzeel colored pencils that come in that tin box with the Volkswagen Bug car on it and all of the funky coloring information on it. And I didn't like those very much. They seemed really hard and they weren't as pigmented as these. These are very, very nicely pigmented. It does come with an information pack. Tells you about the colored pencils, gives you a list of the colors. Now, each colored pencil does have, take out this drawer because we already looked at the other drawer. We're going to, each of them has a number on them, but it doesn't have the color name on the pencil. This little chart does have the color name. Like, for example, this one here is light green. So when you swatch, make sure that you have this little chart available to you so that you can put down the color name as well. They're such pretty pencils. I just love them. So that is drawer number 2. And this is drawer number 4. Of course, and they have these little ribbons on the ends of the drawers. Here, I'll show you, that you can use to pull the drawer out. And that, of course, is drawer number 1 and drawer number 3. So it's got a really good selection of colors, just like the, what I like about this is it's got a good separation. They're easy to store. I can put this anywhere on my desk and they're accessible. I can even put this underneath the pencil holder that my husband made me, and I can still get to these pencils. So that's wonderful. I like that. We're going to actually swatch or color a little bit with these. So I'm going to move these over here. I'm not going to put them back in this part of the box yet. Let's talk about this part of the box for a minute. So as you can see, there is where the drawers go in. It's nice and solid all the way through. It's not just a little piece in the front that holds that drawer in place and then the other drawer below holds it up. It's solid all the way through with really, really, really thick cardboard, which is covered by a vinyl sheet that has the Brunzeel design name on it and everything else. It's very nondescript. So when you have it on your desk, it just looks like a little box of drawers. It's really kind of cool. Now, in one of my sets of pencils, I got this cute little book. So we're going to use the Brunzeel pencils to color one of these little owls. So we're going to take, let's see, which one should we do? I'm just going to rearrange those so I can see what colors are in them. Because, yeah, I've buried my swatch book again. So let's see, which one should we color? I think we'll just color the first one here. Maybe this one. This one's cuter. I like that one. So we're going to take our light brown and we'll take a look and see what color that is just by looking at our little swatch thing here. And it's number 72, no, 79, sorry. I had it upside down, which is burnt okra. And we're just gonna, and I found that with these, it's best to be very light-handed with them. Like I said, when I was doing the swatching and I did do a harder press on them, they did start dusting a bit. And what that means, well, what I mean when I say that, I can't say what that means, but what I mean when I say that is it left parts of the pencil on the page, and I actually had to dust that off. And of course, if you do that with your hand, you're going to draw that across your page, and you're going to end up with a color that you don't want somewhere. And of course, my hand is in your way. So light layers with these pencils is the best. Of course, you can press to a medium pressure without any problems. However, doing a hard pressure on them does seem to break them down pretty quick. So I'm just going to do this side. I didn't have any breakage of the pencils themselves in the box, and the box seemed to come pretty well intact. I did have a little bit of a crack on one of the pillars, but not a big deal. It's not coming apart, and the drawers still fit in it, so it's not a big deal. The shipping, the way that they were shipped was not what I would have expected. They were shipped in a bubble envelope. I would have expected them to be shipped with a little bit more care than that. But all in all, a pretty good turnout of the pencil. Now I'm going to go a little bit darker here on the edges on this side because it's a little more shadowed. Because he's got his little head turned. And I haven't sharpened these yet, so we're going to end up sharpening some, obviously, because we've got really, really small details there. So I'm going to grab my pencil sharpener, and we're going to see how well these sharpen. So I'm going to sharpen number 43, which is a dark brown. And it came to quite a nice point. I don't know if you can see that, but so that's a new thing to me. When you sharpen it, make sure that you wipe it off a little bit because the sharpener left a little bit of dust. So, and we're going to do this area here dark. So as you can see, I'm not pressing very hard at all, and the color is just coming off so smoothly. There's not a lot of white spot in there. And I'm barely touching the page. So that's really good. I like that. And you don't need, 176 colors or 180 colors to make a picture fantastic. All of these colors can be blended together to get the other colors. It's just a lot, I find it a lot easier to do a graduation of color if I have those colors available because I'm heavy-handed. And I am learning very quickly with these higher end brands of pencils and higher end qualities that being heavy handed is not the best way to get the color out of your pencils. So I am gradually learning how to lighten my grip and how to keep myself from pressing really hard, which is fairly difficult for me. I'm just going to do the belly in this dark brown. Of course, it's an owl, and I could have done it in grays and browns and whatnot, and I will add some gray in a little bit here. And because it's a doodle owl, I will add other colors as well, just to give information on those colors. So we're not just going to stick with the browns here. We're going to add some fun colors too. And we will make him a happy little owl. So I've got the first layer down, just going to go over it, one more time just to give it that depth of color that we want. And as you can see, I'm holding the pencil quite far up, so I'm not putting a lot of pressure on the tip. And I could easily have put down this whole layering all at once, but like I said, with these higher end, higher quality pencils, I am slowly learning that sometimes it's just better to put as little pressure as possible and as many layers as possible. Now, this book is a very basic papered book. It's not horribly thick or as toothy as you would like with a higher end pencil. So we're not going to get as many layers on it as we would like. But it is holding the color quite nicely. So it's not overly dark, but it's not overly light either. So I'm going to take the next color, which is number 40. And number 40 is Umber. And we're just going to put in the shadows. I should have sharpened this one too. With these little pictures, they have so many little details that are very, very small. So you end up having to color them with an extremely sharp point just to get into those details, which I don't mind, but I didn't sharpen this pencil, so it's a little bit harder. And of course, I could just stop talking and sharpen my pencil, but what fun would that be? I like to give them a shot right out of the box, especially these ones that are already sharpened, just to see what the manufacturer thought was the best sharpen for them. Of course, a lot of people prefer to use a small sharpen on the front. I prefer a deeper, a longer sharp point, because especially with these softer pencils, that light sharp point doesn't seem to give enough time to finish what you're doing. And that bugs me. And that's just me. I'm just really picky with that. So it's not a bad thing for the colored pencil. It's a bad thing for me because I'm impatient. I don't like to constantly sharpen, sharpen, sharpen. I want to get as much done out of the pencil as I can with one go. So I've got number 74 here, which is dark gray. And I'm going to color the wings here with the dark gray. And like I said, just little layers. And try not to press too hard, or you get things like this coming off of your pencil. I was pressing a little bit too hard there. And I could have just, colored each little spot, but I don't want to keep you all here all day long because it would take me all day to color those little spots. I hope everyone is doing well today. I am so glad that we finally got that rain last week and got rid of that smoke out of the air. And this week is supposed to be nice and warm. So we're going back into summer. We had winter for 2 days yet last week, and well, winter for us here in Oregon is low temperatures and rain. So basically we had late fall, early winter here. And now we're going back into summer, which is always fun. Indian summers are great. That's what we used to call them in BC when they would do that. You start back to school and you're wearing your fall clothes and you get out of the classroom and it's 90 degrees out, where in the morning when you went to school it was 45. Okay, so we've used that dark gray on the wings and this little bit on his head. Just gonna go a little bit firmer on my grip there just to give that shadow. Same with here on his wings. Give that shadow. Now, as I said before, doing the firmer grip will make that pencil go a little bit dusty on you, so be careful with that. This one here is number 10, which is the black, I do believe. And I'm actually going to sharpen that because it really does not have a sharp point on it at all. I wanted it to have a good point so that I could just give an outline of that shadow area. Just to darken it up just enough to make it look like it's standing out. I know this is a review and not a tutorial, so. All right, I'm going to do his little ears. Or his little tufts of feathers, is what I should say, because they're not really ears, are they? They're just little tufts of feathers. Okay, now let's delve into some of these other colors. So let's grab a red and see how the reds do. Of course, I'm going to sharpen it because it's got a flat point. And I did notice with these pencils when I first got them and first did the swatch is the tips are not sharp. They are very, very flat when they come out of the box. Now this one's not quite as centered as I would expect for this quality of pencil, but it's centered enough that it is definitely usable. However, with the price of these and the quality that they're supposed to have, I would expect them all to be dead center. But my expectations are high. And sometimes, I expect things that I expect quality for value. If I'm going to spend a lot of money on a set of pencils, I expect them to be quality pencils, not just pencils. Okay, so we're going to use this one, which is, so that one was a red number 40. And this one is number 39, which is a magenta. Now let's see how magenta this magenta is, because I have had magenta pencils that are not very magenta. They're either light purple or, I've had some that are pink. It's very odd. This one looks pretty magenta. So we're just going to use the magenta here. Yeah, it's a good magenta pencil. But I've had some that say they're magenta, and they're nowhere near magenta. And I have some that are so dark magenta that their pigmentation is really high. These are really good. Liking that magenta color. I think I'm going to use it here too. And I'm pressing a little bit harder than I should, because I don't want to keep y'all here all day long. Okay. And then we're going to take a green, I think. Nice light green here. So this is the light green, which is number 60. And yeah. And I think when they were pouring the cores, they didn't knock the bubbles out quite enough, because as you can see, there's a bit of a chip there, and it's the form of a bubble. So it looks like there may have been a bubble in the core from when they pressed it or poured it and had a bit of air in it or something. But it doesn't seem to be fracturing off, which is fine. I'm just doing little bits, the areas in the green. And then we're going to use a yellow. I think this is the dark yellow. Let me see. I think it's Naples yellow. Yes, it's Naples yellow. And of course the end is blunt, so we're going to quickly give it a sharpen, because the areas we want to go in are really tight. And then I think we're going to use orange, and then we should be done this little creature. This little fella will be all done. So we're just going to go into here, and we'll see how this blends together. I'm just going to go over the entire area and blend those two colors together. And they blend together quite nicely. That's good. And of course, I'm going to go around the end here. And I could do, the same as I did down here, but this is so small that it would be very difficult. That would be definitely something that you would want to do with like a fine liner or something. And I'm not very good with those, and I'm not reviewing those right now. So I'm reviewing these wonderful, wonderful colored pencils. And we'll do his eyelids in this yellow, because he's such a pretty little bird. And then we're going to take one from this set. I think this one. And I'll put this one back. Of course, I don't usually put my pencils back in their cases when I'm coloring with them, but these little drawers are so easy to keep organized that it makes it a lot easier to put them back. Okay, so this is number 23, which on our little chart is orange. So just orange. So what we're going to do with the orange is we're going to color his little beak. We're just going to see if it blends into that yellow. And of course I went out of the lines, but it seems to blend into the yellow nicely too. And we're going to color his little feet. So we've used at least one pencil out of every drawer, and they go down very, very smoothly. They're very soft to color with. What else can I say about them? They are so much better than the Brunzeels that I used the first time. I was not impressed with those ones, and I have put them away somewhere, and I'm not quite sure where I put them. And if I do find them, what I will do at some point is I will do a little video of those ones and compare the two. But that is as much as I'm going to color on him. I didn't do very heavy. I haven't blended it or anything with a blending pencil. That is just using the colored pencils that are in the set. So if you want, I'll go over to this other camera here and show you a close-up of him. Just 1 second. There we go. And I'm going to turn on the light and see if that helps. So we've done the browns, the grays, some greens, oranges, yellows, and they all seem to combine together quite nicely. The black and everything else blended together. And like I said, be careful when you are coloring with them. Don't press too hard because you will get a dust. If you do get a dust, of course, use your wonderful dusting brush and dust that colored pencil off, and you will be good to go on the next area. Other than that, the only other things that I want to review with you about the Brunzeels is whether or not they are wax or oil-based, and I'm not seeing any information that tells me that. No, it just says high-quality core pigments. So unfortunately, it does not tell me what type of cores these have. So let's take a quick look at this wonderful thing that we call the internet and see if we can find what type of cores they have. This will just take me a minute. Let's see. I know they're not pastels. They're just okay, so the ones with the little Volkswagen bug is a 60 pack, but that's got the colored pencils, some metallics, as well as some drawing pencils. So the ones we have, those are watercolor, that's those ones. So currently they're $50.90 on Amazon, and there is no reviews. So that's the same one. So let's see if it says in there. Just says that what kind of core, wooden colored pencils. Come on, give me some information here. They are manufactured in Holland, but I'm not seeing any information. I'm not even seeing the question asked, which is weird. So they are glued in a two-part process, which does make for less likeliness of them breaking. Oh, they are pigments in a liquid wax binder. So it does have a wax-based binder, which is fine, and it does not have a lot of wax bloom. With some pencils, what wax bloom is sometimes you get a discoloration on the wax, on the pencil coloring, and it goes away if you go over it, but sometimes it's irritating, especially if you're coloring one picture for a long period of time and you look over it and it doesn't look right while you're coloring it. But these pencils say that they don't have a wax bloom, which is great as well. So with that, and these wonderful pencils, like I said, they are glued all the way down the shaft from what the information is telling me. So you should not have any breakage that causes the pencil to be unusable. They have a really nice thick core, and I've got the auto correct on my camera, so I'm going to switch it back over because it keeps on auto focusing for you. They are made in Holland, and if I do remember correctly, I know that you can buy each drawer individually. I have not seen whether or not you can buy each pencil individually. I do believe on the Brunzeel website they do have individual pencils, but I don't think they do on Amazon. But I will research that for you a little bit, and I will put that information in the description. With that, I thank you so much for watching. I love these pencils, and you know, if you are in the budget for a good set of high quality pencils that aren't as expensive as some of the larger sets, then definitely take a look at these. These are absolutely beautifully made. They are beautifully stored and are very versatile for travel as well. So if it's a compact area that you keep your pencils in, or if you're going to be traveling, say in an RV or in a car or something else, they're very, very easy to just pack them up into your backpack and off you go. You don't have to keep them in this big thing either. You can just stack them on top of each other and wrap an elastic band around them, and they'll stay in place. And I'm putting them all back in their little box just to show you what they look like all in their box. So each section has a drawer in it. Let's see if I can turn that around and give you a better view. And of course, they've got the little tabs there for you to pull and open your drawers. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic set of pencils. I hope you have enjoyed this video and review of these pencils. If you do want to purchase them, I will put a link in the description on this video. Thank you so much for watching, and continue to color, always relax, and always stay safe. Bye-bye for now.